thought yesterday. We hadn't heard from LaVar in a
No.
while.
No.
And here he
That
is.
was something.
Shannon, do you have a problem with this?
Even after hearing all that, Skip, I don't have a problem with it. You know why I don't have a problem with it, Skip? Because every year I watch the spelling bee. And of those 500 kids, 472 of them are homeschooled. It is the job of the parent to do what's in the best interest or what they think or what they deem is in the best interest of the child. Now, normally these kids start out from day one being homeschooled. They don't wait till they get to their junior year in high school and then all of a sudden start to homeschool them. It just, Skip, the coach coming in trying to coach. He tried to run a program, that's all. He said, Melo, we can't give you 50 shots. There's only like 75 shots. If you take 50 of them, that means I got to somehow let only 25 shots between 7 other guys. And LaVar doesn't like that. Skip, my concerns are, and I don't believe, now, he got the love part right. Now, if that's LeBron James, he can go down to the hood and everybody want to come get a game in. I don't know if that's going to be the case with LaMelo.
Yep.
The thing is, though, Skip, it just seems like LaVar makes it very difficult. In other words, LaVar wants you to kiss his butt to get along with him in order for you to. He deems it is a privilege for you to coach my sons. And if you're not going to acquiesce to my demands, my son gets to shoot as much as he wants.
Yep.
You listening at me, scream over your shoulder. And if you do that, hey, everything's going to be peachy. But if you don't, if you try to buck, because I built this program, I like to think Chino Hills had a high school basketball team before he got there, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, he put him on the national map.
He put him on the map, Skip.
Yeah.
But just because you put somebody on the map, Skip, come on now. I understand those are your boys and they're ultra talented. But there has to be some level of respect because the coach, he can't coach your son differently than he coaches anybody else.
Yep.
Because that's going to tick off the other players and the other players' parents. Because once you openly and blatantly show favoritism, now that's going to cause a problem. I don't have a problem with him pulling his son out. He deems that's the best interest of his son. I got no problem with it. As a matter of fact, there's a guy that played that's an NL MVP, Bryce Harper, that dropped out of school before his senior year to focus on baseball. And nobody had a problem with that. I don't have a problem with this.
I'm with you to a point, but only to a point. I love to watch LaVar talk.
He's crazy.
He's like outdid himself in this interview. It's like he goes farther and farther, and
he make no bones why he took his kid out.
No bones. And yet, I always give LaVar a little break, maybe a big break, that most people don't.
Right.
Because of the way he raised number one son.
Right.
Number one son, that's some pretty special stuff because he is unselfish. I'm talking about Lonzo, unselfish to a fault.
Right.
He says and does all the right things. He seems very committed to his mom. He seems almost like he's mom's son more than he's
more mom's personality than dad.
And she obviously went through a terrible health issue, a stroke. But even LaVar kept telling me, just wait and see what Lonzo's body turns into once he grows into, as he said, his ball body. Have you seen some pictures of Lonzo with the Lakers now? He's growing into his man body. He's not that string bean that he was at UCLA anymore. So I don't know how you could do a whole lot better than the way he raised Lonzo. But the youngest son, I got to tell you, this is a recipe for disaster. I don't know, because has there ever been a more nationally famous sophomore in high school than LaMelo?
No.
I don't think so, just because of the media age, social media age we live in. I mean, I didn't know LeBron when he was a sophomore. I might have heard about him when he was a junior, but definitely I was watching him on TV when he was a senior.
Correct.
But this is a sophomore. And this is a kid who on his 16th birthday was given by his parents a Lamborghini. Happens here in Beverly Hills all the time, but still, you want to talk about potentially spoiled? I mean, this is like all time, because what are the messages that dad has sent to youngest son? If we don't like that referee, we're leaving. We're out.
AAU put him off the court.
Out. We're taking our basketball. We're going home, right? And now he sent the message to his son, if I don't like that coach, you're out. We're just going to go home. You can't play there anymore. They can't have you anymore. And I'm fine with the homeschool. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the home training that he's going to get. His father's was a personal trainer before he got discovered nationally. You know, like that's what he did for a
Yes.
living. And I think he really knows what he's doing with those kids' young bodies to
Right.
get them right.
Right.
But help me out here. There's no substitute for competition, even at the high school level,
Right.
where the game's on the line.
Right.
Got to take the last shot. It's a championship. It's the playoffs. Whatever it is, you can't get that going into the hood and saying, let's play a game, because you're not going to feel that kind of pressure and tension.
And
right?
it's like he's saying, I can go get who want to ball with my son.
Yeah.
It's like one-on-one. But basketball is not a one-on-one sport. It is a team sport, and he needs to understand
Yeah.
how to play as a team player. Although he's jacking up 60 shots a game, makes me think that he thinks he's playing one-on-one.
Yeah.
But Skip, and then LaMelo said Monday was going to be his last day. He's excited for this change in his scholastic life, because I can spend all my time now in dedication instead of going to school and doing book work. I don't know if that was the answer. You know, he does realize, like, home school doesn't mean you just lay on the couch and
Don't
just
go to
practice.
school.
Right.
Yeah. I get it, but LaVar did right by Lonzo, and I'm assuming that as crazy as LaVar sometimes comes across, and we've had him in studio a number of times, I still think deep down he knows what he's doing with those kids.
Right.
And that he's going to keep them on the right track. And I hope for this kid's sake that he stays on the right track, because he's going to have the hardest time.
Yes.
He's going to have more pressure to me coming up than Lonzo had coming up.
Right, correct.
Because I didn't discover Lonzo until he was already in gear at UCLA.
correct.
Right?
Right.
So at least he had a little bit of maturity.
Yes.
He'd gone through the recruiting process and the early pressure of being a star at UCLA as a freshman.
You know, Skip, a lot of times people have a problem, and for me, I'm not trying to tell somebody how they should raise their kids, because your kids might be different than my kids, and my kids might be different from someone else's. But to say, well, this is what you should, this is how you should do it, this is what you should say, this is what you should. No, I'm not in that kind of business. If as a parent, your job is to do the best job you possibly can raising your kids. If he feels that this gives LaMelo the best opportunity for what LaMelo wants in life, have at it.
Yeah.
I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
But I don't like the reasons. Now, if you want to homeschool your child because you didn't think the academics that he was getting at this institution was up to par, if you think the level of competition, okay, I get it. But because the coach said your son couldn't shoot 50 shots a game, because the coach maybe said, look, I don't need you breathing down my back all day, because I don't want you yelling from the stands, you got a problem with that? That's the only problem that I have. I got no problem that you want to homeschool him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the reasons that I have the problem that you want to homeschool him is because I don't think that should be the underlying reasons why.
Yep.
Because you can't have your way. So basically, I can't have my way, you can't coach my son. Then.
Correct. Look, we all know, as cliched as this sounds, life gets hard.
Yeah.
Life comes at you unexpectedly. I don't even want to talk about what just happened in Las Vegas. God bless all those people.
Yes.
But it's just, it's shocking what can happen in life unexpectedly. And to put it back on this little level, so this kid has been protected. Well, at some point, something will go wrong, and you got to be ready to fight through what goes wrong. And you have to have learned how. You have to be equipped to deal with it. Shannon Sharpe didn't get heavily recruited out of high school and wound up at Savannah State.
Correct.
And then sort of scratched and clawed his way up to be a 7th-round draft pick, and then had to scratch and claw his way just to make a football team.
Absolutely.
That you show up with how many undrafted free agents they
Yeah,
have? Like
a bunch.
50?
Yeah.
Right? And it's hard, man. It's hard. And you're facing huge adversity, but you're equipped for it.
Yes.
You'd been raised right, and you'd faced adversity
My
before.
grandmother and grandfather had prepared me for this moment growing up like I had grown up. But Skip, who's to say this kid would be eligible? I mean, he has a lab. Okay, his family brought that, but he has a signature shoe.
I know. I'm afraid he's not going to be allowed to play the 1 year of college basketball.
Hell, I was going to be surprised he was going to be allowed to play high school basketball.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few segments from the newest show on FS1, First Things First, with Chris Carter and Nick Wright.